cycle, that concept will be termed as pipeline. Okay, now so see, our task will be divided into subtasks. So this fetch, decode and execute, this is one cycle. So we will divide it in more, or we will break it in more steps. Okay, so that is the concept of pipelining. So basically, to help with instruction pipelining, we will do this breaking of instruction cycle. So we have fetch, decode and execute. Now how we can divide it? First, what we will do, fetch the instruction from memory. Okay, that is fetching portion. So fetch the instruction from memory and decode the instruction. Okay, because instruction we need to decode. Okay, whatever it's the instruction is, we need to decode. So first we will fetch the instruction from memory, then we will decode the instruction. Then what we will do, fetch the operands from memory or register. Okay, now operands, they are values. Okay, so that's why we don't need to decode them. Operands, it's a direct value. Whatever it is, it's a direct thing. So we don't need to decode it. So just fetch the operand or operands from memory or register. After that, execute the whole instruction. Whatever it is, the instruction is, with the help of operand, execute the whole instruction and then store the output result to the memory or register. Okay, so these are the all 5 steps you have in instruction cycle. So whenever you have a question like what do you mean by instruction cycle, you face this question. So first you have to start with, you have basically these 3 steps: fetch, decode and execute. Okay, now to give it more simplification, we will break these 3 steps into 5 steps. Okay, what are the 5 steps? First is fetch the instruction, then decode the instruction. After that, fetch the operands from memory or register, then execute the instruction, the whole instruction, and after that store the output result to the memory or register. Okay, this whole thing will be termed as this whole things will be termed as instruction cycle. Now you will get plenty of diagram for this instruction cycle. Just you have to type and you will get, as I have told you, that plenty of diagrams. Let me show you one. I hope my screen is visible now. So that is one, that is one simple, instruction cycle where you have fetch the instruction, decode instruction, read address from memory and execute the instruction. Okay, so this type of, one diagram you have to draw. Fine. So that is your instruction cycle. Now next we will move on to, you don't have anything else in instruction cycle. That is the concept of instruction cycle, that initially we know it's fetch, decode and execute, and after that we will divide it into 2 more steps. Okay, altogether 5 steps. Now we will study addressing mode. Addressing modes. Okay, now in case of addressing modes, I have already told you that you have 12 different addressing modes. Now what do you mean by addressing modes? The different ways in which the location of an operand is specified in an instruction are referred to as addressing modes. Okay, that means addressing modes. So the addressing. Okay, so that means that is the location. Right. So how you can, the way you can fetch an operand to a specific location, so that ways, the different ways will be termed as addressing modes. Okay, so there are 12 different ways you can fetch an operand from a specific location or address. Okay, so the ways will be termed as addressing modes. Now why you have different types of addressing modes because we have different type of operation to perform. Okay, so that's why, you know, some specific operation needs some specific type of you know, handle to fetch the operand from a specific location. Okay, so that's why you have different addressing mode to basically you know, simplify the fetching operation from a address, from a memory address. Okay, that's why you have different types of addressing modes. Fine. So when you will understand, or when you will learn the 12 different types of addressing mode, you will understand that why we have this 12 different types. Fine. So we will start with the first category. Okay, so you have different types of categories as well. So if you want to write you know, with whatever I'm saying, you can do that. That means the headings. Okay, and I will share the URL also. It's a good one. You can go through this as well. Yeah, so you know, save this one. You know, this has the 12 addressing modes with the examples. Fine. So we will start with the first category. The first category is basically where you don't have one address field used in instruction. Okay, direct address field is not used in instruction. So this is category 1 or maybe class 1. So what is class 1? Class 1 means no address field is used in instruction. So this is the class 1. Okay, no address field is used in instruction. Over here you have 3 examples. Okay, that means 3 types of addressing modes you have in class 1. The first one is basically called implied or inherent mode. Implied or inherent mode. That is first one. Okay, second one is immediate mode. And the third one is called stack addressing mode. Okay, these 3 will fall under the first one. No address field is used in instruction. Okay, the classes are very important. If you can remember this one, then it is very easy to you know, remember this 3 one, that is implied, immediate and stack. Okay, let me tell you about them. So first one is implied, or you know, the first one is implied one. Okay, this is implied addressing mode. Okay, so what implied or inherent? Okay, so what do you mean by implied or inherent mode? In this type of you know, addressing format or addressing mode, the operands basically are indicated implicitly by the instruction. Okay, implicitly by the instruction. That means implicitly means within the instruction. Okay, so here basically the accumulator register is used to hold the operand, and after the instruction execution, the result you know, basically will be stored in same register. That means you know, accumulator. Fine. That is your implied addressing mode. So as we are using accumulator over here for storing everything, that's why we don't use any addressing field over here. Okay, direct address will not be used over here. Fine. Example will be suppose RAL. That is what the first one, implied or inherent. Okay, RAL. RAL means basically rotates the content of the accumulator left through carry. Okay, from left to right. Left through carry means left to right. Okay, or maybe this is one example. Another one example may be CMA. CMA means takes complement of the content of the accumulator. Okay, whatever you have in the accumulator takes the complement of it. Okay, so that means we can say that over here also this one is mentioned. The instruction complement accumulator is an implied mode instruction. Fine. So first category. And the class. What is the class? Class 1, no address field will be used. Okay, so that means we will not use any address field over here. Fine. Anything we will not use over here. So the first one is implied or inherent mode. So in case of, remember, in case of implied or inherent mode, give a arrow and remember accumulator. Okay, you have to remember a word with every addressing mode. Okay, you have to remember a word or a line. Okay, and one example. First, you have to understand that you have 12 different addressing mode. Okay, so that means it's not easy that whenever I'll say something and directly you can relate. Okay, so you have to study them repeatedly. And one more thing, you have to, make your homework that how you can recollect them. So for implied addressing mode, first you have to remember the classes. Okay, so in class 1, no address field will be used. Okay, in class 1 you have 3 different addressing modes. First one is implied or inherent, next one is immediate, and the third one is stack addressing mode. Fine. So the first one, immediate, remember in case of immediate implied addressing mode, the first one is implied. So in case of implied addressing mode, remember accumulator. Okay, so whatever we will do, we will use the accumulator only. Okay, whatever you have to do, you have to use the accumulator. Okay, nothing else will be specified, and you have to remember any one example. So complement accumulator, this is a very easy to remember. Or rotate the content of the accumulator from left to right, left to carry. Fine, that is RAL. So that is your implied mode. Next one is immediate mode. Okay, next one is immediate mode. So in this immediate mode, you have to remember that in case of immediate mode, the operand will be mentioned explicitly. Okay, there will be operands will be mentioned. In case of the first one, implied, nothing has mentioned. Okay, that's why we will use the concept of accumulator over here. In case of immediate, immediately you have the operand. The operand will be used immediately. Okay, that means explicitly you will have the operand. So what do you mean by immediate addressing mode? In this mode, the operand is mentioned explicitly in the instruction. Okay, explicitly in the instruction. Example. So now I'm giving you example for immediate addressing mode. So in case of immediate addressing mode, remember, give a arrow and remember the operand will be mentioned explicitly. Okay, explicitly means the operand will be given. With the instruction, the operand will be given. In case of immediate mode, okay, the operand will be given. No address field will be mentioned. Only the operand will be given. Okay. So the first example, suppose this is the first example. MVI A,06. Okay. So that means loads equivalent binary value of 06 to the accumulator. Okay, that is MVI A,06. Okay, so over here also no address field is mentioned, so that means accumulator will be over here again. Okay, but the operand will be mentioned. In previous cases, whatever you have in accumulator, you have to use that as operand. In case of immediate mode, the operand will be explicitly mentioned. Okay, you have to use the accumulator, but operand will be explicitly mentioned. This is the first example. Second example is this one. Okay, ADI 05 adds the equivalent binary value of 05 to the content of accumulator. Okay, that means over here you can do the arithmetic operation. In case of implied one, basically you cannot do any arithmetic operation. You just have to rotate or complement, these things, because in case of doing any arithmetic operation you need two operands. Okay, in case of implied you have just the accumulator and content of the accumulator. That's why you cannot do anything else than rotate or maybe complement. But in case of immediate addressing mode, this is one step extra. Over here you can use one more operand explicitly. Okay, you have the content of accumulator plus you have one operand. That means you have two operands, the content of the accumulator and one external operand. So whenever you have two things, that means you can now perform all the different types of arithmetic operation. Okay, so these are the two examples, and again this is also mentioned over here. Let's see. Immediate addressing mode. Okay, in this addressing mode, the operand is specified in the instruction explicitly. Okay, see what's written in mode. The definition of the instruction itself specify the operands implicitly. Okay, implicitly. Remember, implied implicitly. So that means we don't have any operand extra than the content of the accumulator. Fine. In case of immediate, there is the content of accumulator and one more operand which is specified in the instruction explicitly. Okay, so we have opcode operand, and that is your immediate addressing mode. Instead of address field, an operand field is present that contains the operand. Okay, so operand field is present. So this is basically class 1 where no address is specified. That's why instead of address field, we cannot use address over here. So instead of address field, an operand field is present that contains the operand. Okay, that is your immediate addressing mode. Over here also you have these two examples. Add 10 will increment the value stored in accumulator by 10. Okay, increment, that means whatever you have in accumulator, that will be added by 10. Move R hash 20, initialize the register R to a constant value of 20. Okay, macros, so constant value of 20, the R register. Okay, so this is immediate addressing mode. That means one external operand will be specified explicitly, external. Okay, the third one is stack addressing mode. Stack addressing mode. So over here also no address field will be used. So stack, that means always we will refer the top of the stack. Okay, in this case, this type of addressing mode. So what do you mean by stack addressing mode? Only stack organized computers will use this type of addressing mode. In this addressing mode, all the operands of an instruction are taken from the top of the stack. Okay, top of the stack, as I have told you, that always we will refer the top of the stack whenever we need one operand. Fine. Example. Now this is the example of stack addressing mode. Okay. One opcode subfield, no address field will be used. Okay, so both operands, sub, that means this is one arithmetic operation. So whenever we have this sub, that means we will, what we will do in case of stack based addressing mode, the operand will be specified by the top of the stack. Okay, so whenever we want to do any subtraction operation, we need at least two operands. So that means top two elements of the stack will be fetched for doing this subtraction operation. Okay, that is your stack based addressing modes. In this addressing mode, the operand is contained of the at the top of the stack. See, at the top of the stack. So stack based addressing mode, again no address field we can use because that is the class, and top of the stack will be act as the operand. Okay, that is, you have to remember, you can write that. Example, see over here it's given add. I have told you about sub, they have given add. This instruction simply pops out two symbols contained at the top of the stack, because this is one also arithmetic operation. So in case of stack, it's very easy that you can write down any arithmetic operation like ADD for addition, SUB for subtraction, MUL for multiplication, and DIV for division. Okay, and how you will do that? That you have to pop the first two, that is the top two elements from the stack, to do the arithmetic operation, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay, so these are the three for no address field is used in instruction. So for the first one, accumulator, just you have to do rotate or complement. These two are the example. Second one is immediate. That means you have one operand explicitly. Okay, so now you have two operands. One operand is your accumulator and second operand is explicitly used. Okay, so that means now with other things you can do the arithmetic operation as well. These two are the example. Fine. The third one is stack-based addressing mode. That means stack, you have to use only the top of the stack as your operand. Okay. Example, add, sub. That means you have to first pop the top two elements and then you have to perform whether it's addition or subtraction. Okay. These three are clear with example. Yes. Any questions? If you can say. Is it clear? Can I move on?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, okay. The next class is address field is registered address. Okay, over here, class 2. So now we will move on to class 2. So what is class 2? In case of class 2, address field is registered address. This is your class 2. Address field is registered address. That means now you have the concept of address, but instead of direct address field, the registered address will be specified. Okay, that means register. Now you have registers. Like in the last class, in the previous class, what we have studied that remember the 3 address or 2 address, we have written that R1, R2. Okay, that these are the register T. Okay, so that means now you can use them. See, in the previous all cases, you don't have used any register. Either you have used values or you have used direct the operation. Like for this two, for the implied and stack, you don't have anything, just one instruction. Okay, in immediate addressing mode you have, but you have just accumulator and one direct value. The value will be given. Okay, whatever it is, 10, 12, 6, the value will be given. Okay, nothing else you have. Now for the class 2, you have used the register. That means registers R1, R2. Now you have the permission to use the register. Okay, so over here also you have a few categories. So the first one, as 1, 2, 3 is done over here, I am starting with index 4. So 4 is register or direct mode. Okay, sometimes it's called as registered direct mode. This is the first category, registered direct mode. Okay, so you may, in some book you will find it as register mode. In some book you may find it as direct mode. In some book they have written as registered direct mode. Okay, in this way you will find it out. The next one over here, is registered indirect mode. So this is registered direct mode. Now you will have registered indirect mode. That is the second you have over here. Register, first you have register direct mode. Next you have registered indirect mode. And again, the third you have is auto increment or auto decrement mode. Auto in. And as I have told you that write down the specification, it will be easier for you. So over here the class 2, that is now address field is register field. That means now you have the permission to use register. This one also have 3 examples. First one is register direct mode. Next one is registered indirect mode, and the third one is auto increment or auto decrement mode. Okay. See over here they have written as direct addressing mode. I have told you that is means registered direct addressing mode, direct, and this is indirect addressing mode. That means registered indirect addressing mode, you can say. Okay. Now first let me explain this, then we will read out that only. So now first I will talk about this one, registered direct mode. Okay. So what do you mean by registered direct mode? So basically in this mode the processor registers hold the operands. Okay, so that means you have now external registers, and those registers will hold the operands. Okay, in other words the address field is now register fields. Okay, that is the concept. The address field is now register field which contains the operands required for the instruction. Okay, so that is your registered direct field. So in a word, what do you mean by registered direct address mode or direct address mode? So over here, directly you will have registers. Okay, the name of the registers will be given, and in those registers you will have the operands. Okay, directly. Nothing you have to think. Just you have to read the register, and you have to read the instruction what you have to do. Okay, so within the register the value or the operands will be given. Okay, and the instruction will say that what you have to do with the operands or with the values. Example, very easy example, add R1 comma 2. Add R1 comma R2. Okay, that is one very easy example. So this means I have told you that in this type of example, when you have registers, so always remember, just after the instruction, whatever register is there, that is the destination register. That means the result we will find out over there. So add R1 comma R2, that means you have to add the content of R1 register and R2 register. So R1 and R2 are registered. They are directly given, and in these two registers you have the operand value. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to add the values of R1 and R2, and the result will be stored in R1. So add R1 comma R2, that means adds contents of registers R1 and R2 and store the result in R1. Okay, that is your registered direct mode or direct addressing mode. Okay. So direct addressing mode, so this is direct addressing mode, you have opcode and you have the register. Okay, so that register is basically your address field, is your register field. So this register will basically hold the operand. See, directly register will hold the operand. So direct addressing mode, the address field of the instruction contains the effective address of the operand. Only one reference to memory is required to fetch the operand. That's why it's direct. Okay. It is also called absolute addressing mode. Add X. This is one example. Okay. That is X is one register where you have the value. And this is also, this is very easy, the one which I have shown, rather than this one is very easy to remember. Add R1 comma R2. Okay, so again register direct mode or register direct addressing mode. So over here you will have external registers, and in register, inside the register you have the values. Okay, the operand values, and one operation will be specified which way you have to perform. Example is this one. The next one is registered indirect mode. Okay, so in case of registered indirect mode, obviously you can understand that in case of registered indirect mode, that means you don't have the direct you don't have the direct access to the operand. Okay, the access to the operand will be indirect one. That's why it's called registered indirect addressing mode. Let me give you one example for this. So over here, suppose this is your register. So this register will hold one effective address address. This is effective address. Okay, EN is effective address. So this will point to a effective address. First you have to go to this location and this effective address. So effective address means this location will also contain one address, not any value. In the previous case, that is in case of registered direct, this register, whatever it will hold the register, that address is basically holding the operand directly. That's why it's direct addressing mode. Over here, in case of indirect addressing mode, the content of the register will hold one address. Instead of one value, it hold one address. Okay, you have to first go to that address. That address will specify another address location from where you have to fetch the operand. That's why it's called indirect addressing mode. That's why it's called indirect addressing modes. In the previous case, directly you can have the address, you can have the value of the operand. Over here, first you have one more address. Okay, first you have to go to that address location, then you can fetch the operand. Okay, that's why it's called indirect addressing mode. The address field of the instruction specified the address of memory location that contains the effective address of the operand. Okay, previously it holds the operand itself. Over here, it's hold one effective address of the, you have to go to that effective address to fetch the operand. Two references to memory are required to fetch the operand. See, over here only one reference of memory is needed. Directly you can fetch the operand. Over here, two memory references are needed. This is the first memory reference and this is the second memory reference. Okay. Now this is one. Add X will increment the value stored in the accumulator by the value stored at memory location specified by X. Okay. So that means over here, first you have one address. So you have to go to that address location and from that address location to another address location to fetch the operand. Okay, that is your indirect addressing mode. And last one you have that is auto increment or auto decrement. So auto increment and auto decrement, clearly you can say that whatever you have the content auto increment addressing mode, that means whatever you have the addressing mode is a special case of registered indirect addressing mode. So in case of auto increment mode, that means whatever you have in the register, that will be automatically incremented by 1. Okay, and in case of auto decrement addressing mode, whatever you have, the value in the register you have, that will be decremented by 1. Okay, that is your auto increment and auto decrement addressing mode. So 6 addressing modes are done. So what are the 6 addressing modes we have studied today? Up to this we will study today. Tomorrow we will continue. So we have studied this 6: implied or inherent, immediate, stack addressing mode. And then we have studied about registered direct, then registered indirect and auto increment or auto decrement mode. In case of registered direct mode, this is one example that directly you have to use the register. In case of registered indirect mode, there will be indirect ways from where you can fetch the operand, and third one is auto